Hey, welcome to Clark's Place. Today, talk about the little bit more work on the Daytona. This is on the trunk deck, which is coming along. We have taken our manufactured hinges, and I think they said in another video, we cut off this part here. It's from the original trunk hinge, and they were just little short ones. So we took 2 pieces of metal. I actually cut out 4 sides and then put a strip down the middle and welded it all together and made our own. And then ground it all off, primed it. So what I did is the Janet kit comes with these hinge braces, which I took the hinges, mounted those up inside, which I sorry for the noise, but up inside there is a, and if I could see, okay, hinge is on, and that comes up so far, which I had the trunk deck on, and I marked to the end of this, which was this mark here, which was the end, and then I laid this in here, of course, marked the holes. This is, I don't know what you call that, just like it's countersunk or whatever you want to call it. This has to fit down inside the trunk deck, which the old one, of course, the trunk hinge came in from this way and mounted on these side holes, which you've cut that section of the trunk off, added this, which I still have to work all this, grind it, paint it, all that. But what I did is I'm going to weld this. I have to strip the paint off, get it to bare metal, but laid it on there, marked it all, marked the top, drilled the hole. I used a step drill, one small one to get it started, and then stepped it down to this size to where these would fit, even filed it just a little bit. Then I already knew that these hinges came to the edge. That's how I marked it. So I had a reference point here and here. So then I transferred the hole up to these, marked, drilled through both of them to where this will sit down in here. And I'm not sure what thread this is, but this is a 1/4 inch, and I'll take this off here in a second real quick. And this will fit on here. You have to make sure you get long enough bolts that stick through and go into this. So it's not too long that they go all the way through, bottom out, and come through the top side of your trunk deck. So that's where I am. I'm going to clean this all up, do some grinding, and get these things, get them both mounted on both sides. And I'll probably prime all that, maybe even put some sort of paint underneath it so it's not primed, because once these are on there, they're not coming off. Then you've got a little bit of adjustment on these. If you have to, you can make the holes wallered out just a little bit with the tool, and you might be able to slide this one way or another. And I'm sure you can cock them a little bit, but This is based on how these hinges came up and all the way flush against where they hit on the trunk deck. Actually, it's probably right about here. And I think I marked both of them. Yeah, this is left side, so this is actually the one that goes on the driver's side. But that's my plan, and hopefully it'll turn out okay. I can get this mounted, make sure my gaps are good. I already know it fits really nice all the way out to where it's got a you know, a reveal for the extra hockey stick piece that goes on there and meets the outer edge of the trunk. And I still got some more sanding to do. Rebuilt a lot of this lip, put new lip in. There's two pieces here, one there, one up there. I can grind some of that off, but the main thing is this outer seal on the trunk. And this is Duraglass. I've still got to fill in a little here. Then of course I've got all this to bring flush. This still dips, but I'll probably use you know, the Bondo instead of the fiberglass. Fiberglass is already in there, but this all sounds like it's all one piece, so the plug is in very well. So till next time, hopefully I'll be ready to show how the trunk is, maybe even do some time lapse as I grind on this trunk deck, and how I'm going to try to finish this off. I'm not sure. I haven't looked online to see, are the guys feathering this down, or what are they trying to do? Are they just leaving this edge here? I'm not sure. I guess could put that underneath and flare it. I don't know if I can make that disappear and make this all look factory. I'm going to see what I can do. Probably I'll do all that before I get into mounting all this for final, because once I do that, I'll start filling some of this in with maybe some metal welding and then fiberglassing. So until next time, I'll catch you up then. So thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, nothing. Oh, I see
it all in. Okay. You got enough to weld now.
All right, yeah, I'm thinking we'll just tack.
Then put it up there and fit it.
Put your arms, mount your arms.
Right.
Loosey-goosey, not like cinched down. Put in, put on the posts, and go through the motions and see if you're liking it. And then, if we're good, then I'll seam all the way around it to where this is part of that trunk.
Right.
Maybe we'll get it a little less wonky.
Should we spray that with weld through primer?
Sure.
Okay. Because it's going to be covered up and it's bare metal.
Yeah, I was thinking we were just kind of mocking, but
yeah,
if it ends up being in the right spot, we want it covered underneath.
Right.
Mock, yeah.
Ding.
Yeah.
Bird.
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Boy, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed. Here's what we're using. Weld through primer. Master Pro. Probably any automotive shop.
What gauge do you think?
Oh, there's. Check the gauge on that.
Probably 16 gauge on there.
You want to spray it first, wipe it down first?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I don't know that.
I'm saying 16. Ooh, that's tight. 14. I'm gonna weld with 16 because this is probably only 18.
Here you can. Oh. Yeah, you can check it right here.
I'll weld with 16 and try to focus the speed on this metal and just kind of flow it down into that. You already sprayed it?
Yeah,
I started
getting
to, but
something to wipe.
here. Oh, you got, okay.
You do it.
What we're using is,
Dad doesn't wipe good.
yeah. We use the wax and grease remover. Even though it's been ground, if you touch it with your hand, you put grease on it. Especially if Chris does. He's greasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially those.
So what did you say? What was your secret that you just heard on another car show or from somebody? Oh, you got a spot in the...
Oh wow, that'll be fixed.
That where...
When you get it to the point of Chris's charger, which is totally in primer, and you start sanding on it, getting ready to put a seal coat, or you know, for the finishing, is always have gloves on, even if you're using a tack rag or cleaner, because your oil can go to the rag and you're wiping, and you could put a spot of oil on it that the paint will want to lift later. So I think that's from one of the automotive shows.
I don't know where you said you watched it, but I didn't see it on Kindig or anything like that.
I think it might have been on Shorty's.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Okay, this allows you to weld through the primer. I guess it's conductive or something. Not sure.
Well, like Doug said, or I mentioned after Doug said.
If it's in the right
this
place.
stays in the good spot, then it needs to be coated on it. You might as well spray these guys too. Are these stainless steel or not?
No, it should be.
I thought that had a little rust on it.
They're probably just steel.
Not that this is ever going to ever see any amount of weather ever.
Right. Well,
But
we are in Florida.
true.
There is water in the air.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Because my car, the bare spots on it, got a little surface rust on it really quickly.
It's all the humidity.
Yes.
Okay. Put this up.
Is
About
the neighbor
dry.
out cutting the yard, cutting the street?
I don't know. Okay, we are ready to weld.
Do a little tacking.
We use the Miller Multimatic 215. It works really, really well. So we've had to wait a little bit here to let this weld through primer dry.
Grind me a spot there, but we can get a bare.
We can take this off. Yeah, so we don't weld by the fiberglass. Can we get over here? No, wait.
He's gonna take this off. I think it's ground down.
Yeah, it's ground down. I probably put these on with a socket, of course.
Yeah, you did. I imagine.
The back side of this is clean. Right here.
Oh, okay. Clamp it there. We'll weld it.
All right, then I'll leave that on. I don't think you're going to hurt the fiberglass, but maybe you will.
I'm not gonna get close to it.
Okay, you're just going to tack it anyway, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure it's in the grooves.
Yeah.
Missed.
That one got it.
That's a good tack.
Here, I'll hold it down if you want.
Should be good. Yep.
Okay.
Good enough. They're kind of, are they following the same line? They're both straight? They're both like where
Well,
you
it's
want them?
angled anyway.
Yeah, they're angled.
Are they a little
Yeah,
bit? Okay,
yeah.
it just looked like it was off a little.
Right?
Through here.
Yeah, I saw that.
come off that one soft.
No. You still lose the
Barely.
bottom.
Well, it's still, it's like it's.
I think it's on there, but it's
Yeah.
still like pulled up.
Okay, we gotta take the bolts out.
You separated them right and left?
Yeah, you put an L and an R.
Yeah, because one of them seemed a little more cocked than the other one, and I thought, that's not right.
Gotcha.
I know it's weird. Now, I don't know if I can push this on by hand.
Should just go over the little half-inch nubbin sticking out there.
Yeah, and there's a groove in it.
I don't really feel the groove.
It's in there,
Let me get a light for you.
but I need.
Look up in there and see what you think, Doug. Looks like it's on the thing, yeah.
It's on it, but I don't feel a groove for that clip to go on.
Yeah, I can see what it looks like, a little space for a E clip to go on, C clip, whatever the hell you call them.
C-clip. Yeah, I feel it, and it's in the groove. Push it a little. Thing is,
Well, don't mount it, Pop. I mean, we're just going through the mock-up here.
oh, okay. I was going to put them on.
No, you don't have your tensioners.
No, but I
We're
don't.
just mocking up, and we're gonna take it out.
I don't want them sliding off.
It's
Okay.
not going to.
All right.
So, grab trunk deck. We'll put it on the holes.
Yep. Bring this up. Set it on there with our bolts. See what we got. Got all four of them.
Excuse me.
You want to hold it?
Oh, I got this. Yeah,
I'll screw this.
Okay. It's got to go your way, son. See, that's why I wanted the clips on.
All right. Fine. Let me take this.
I thought that with wiggling around, they're liable to fall off, but I need this.
I don't feel the clip.
We can kind of get down in there and look, Pop. You can see it.
I know it is. I need this piece of metal to try to push on it. It's like cutting your finger.
You want your piece of metal back?
Yeah, as soon as. Okay, there, I'm on the groove. But
Easier to pull.
yeah, I'm just gonna push down. Oh,
Looks like it kicked out on you.
it did. Is this the right size, you think?
I don't know.
Maybe there's a. I know there's bigger
All right,
ones.
we'll be right back.
Okay, we're ready to try this again. We had to put the C-clamp, well, Chris had to.
What you mean, we, cowboy?
We tried, you succeeded.
You succeeded. I know they work, I've had them both on. Might want to get the Milwaukee tool once we start. Oh, lots, most quicker.
Do I need to lay it down so I'm at a better angle for you?
Yeah, there you go. Here. Gonna get the Milwaukee.
I
front?
there's two,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
was thinking. Okay. But we need to cinch them up, so.
Yeah, I need to cinch that other one.
What size
Looks like
is
this
that?
one needs to go forward a little bit, Pop.
All right.
If you got almost an inch overhang. This one's pretty darn close. If you get your quarter extension on there, this
Yes.
one I think is perfect. That one's kicked back. We might need to cut those two welds, move it forward a quarter inch or so.
Okay. So that one you say is good.
Unless there's a little play in that hole.
That's what I'm wondering. No. No play at
Well,
all.
I've got it all the way
Tighten
forward.
it up.
That kicked it. That kicked it.
Yeah.
It's pretty dang wiggly left and right. Yeah, you're kicked back a half inch there. So first mock, this looks good with that sticking out. This we'll have to shave a little fiberglass
Right.
off, but you can see that's opened up an inch over there.
Yeah, this
And
is.
it's not down far enough.
Yeah, it's not down far enough. It's kicked. It's one way.
Well, what did you do wrong on that side?
I didn't do no. Did all my measuring.
If you make the front tighter, will that pull that down?
Maybe. You mean actually put the bolt in?
Oh yeah, put the bolt in. Let's see.
That'll cinch that down.
I can put this on there and let it.
It's not even here. Hang on, let me. Yeah, don't pull down on that.
I see.
Let me push up a little.
It looks like you're going in at an angle, Doug.
Here.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah, go more back to front. There, that's closer. Looking better.
It's not gripping. I'm not getting the thread.
Yeah, it looks like you're going in like this, Doug. Like at an
Yeah,
angle.
well, that's because I got to go through this hole and that hole.
Right.
Those
Yeah.
two line me up, but it may not be
Well, I've
lined
had
up.
these both on, but they weren't mounted and they weren't welded, of course.
True.
Here, let me take this way down. Can you see
I
them?
think that's just making the gap farther away that it won't thread.
Yeah, I can't even see the. I can't even see the hole up in there. Can you look through there and see if it? I got that. See how far we're off?
Yeah, it's got. Yeah, you have to tip it that way. There.
Hey, an idea for grins.
Oh, I
There
see
you
it
go.
now.
Do it like that.
There it is. It's right there. We're on it, but I think this needs to let me have some more.
Yeah, I'm just trying to kick it up in the front for you, pulling it down in the back.
It started, but like I say, it's not. Yeah.
That still doesn't look right. There you go, that looked good.
Nope. Well, I mean,
That looks straight. Go ahead and
Try
tighten
going-
that. See if you can tighten
Yeah,
that.
try going slowly with it.
All right. Okay, you know how trunk decks have some adjustment? What if you put
A slot in here.
rounded these
Yes.
holes?
that's what I figured I'd have to do if it didn't fit.
Because this
This
lays
side's
beautiful.
not bad at all.
I mean, it needs to come that way, but that,
Yeah, look at this one.
yeah, you're still way back.
Yeah.
It might have pulled that down a smidge.
A little bit, but not much, not enough.
Okay, how do you get it down in the back?
put well, first off,
Of course, it's all compromised.
the
where
trunk
it's cut
needs to
off.
be all shored up. Yeah, it needs to be tightened there. But
I would say well, we got to take this off and pound this back flat.
yeah, and you
brings it
can
down.
pound this front section in more,
Yeah.
that pulls that down.
Right.
I'm thinking that's separated from that too
Yeah, see.
at the front.
In the back.
So we could make that more of a flat surface for that to marry to. I think.
Maybe.
If it lays too low, you can always put a washer under there to raise it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
But I think to really, what I see is we need to round these.
Yes.
That can allow
Slide
that
back and forth a little.
drill these out farther forward and farther forward, so that has some adjustment in and out.
You know, I'm not.
So-
going
and I would
to
do
grind
that-
It. I'm gonna plasma cut a slot
Whatever it needs.
because
needs a.
look, that's a thick rod that we put in there.
Okay, well, we can use a little grinder and grind it out. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this side. And that needs to go forward. So we could round this out too, just to give us some play once we get it more shored up.
Yeah, if we're gonna cut them, we might as well make them the same. Yeah. Now this is definitely got to go back. And maybe if it goes back, maybe it'll go down a little. Maybe
I
not.
don't know. I think we need to pound that whole place that it mounts flatter.
Okay.
Make that a flat plane and re-weld.
Well, we can see that this clears. Trunk deck works.
Okay, is it hitting before it hits this? Nope. See, we need to put that little stanchion in.
This one stops.
Yeah, that one stops. We already knew this one hits.
Yeah.
And we've got to put under there. We have to put a bumper on it.
Yep.
You
got the door?
Taller dumper. Yeah, I got it.
How heavy does that feel? I didn't even
Oh,
notice.
it's heavy.
Oh yeah, pretty heavy.
It's like, gosh. Yeah, they're probably 10 pounds pulling down.
So you're lifting the whole weight of the trunk deck, lifting it up. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's the whole weight.
Well, you don't have any helper bars on it either, so.
Yeah, that matches that fine. This still needs filler and grind off straight, and this needs to come over.
Yeah, it looks like your trunk deck is kicked in a little there. I think it has more of a straight down. It doesn't cut straight into the
Yeah,
body.
that
It-
looks dented in.
Just a little bit dented there.
Where's my stick? It'll show you.
Yeah, maybe it is. Take
Just-
here and
just
pull
kicked
it,
a little.
Pull it out a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. See how it's kicked in?
Yeah, just a little.
This side too. Probably pull it.
Oh yeah, you can use a
Pair of hands.
pair of
Get
hands
that
did
deck
that one.
pulled right out. Dad pulls the whole lip off the trunk. So you got some little dingers there.
Where?
You got
Oh,
an
yeah.
AJ Allman dinger right there.
Yeah, that's got to be pound in and but that was the best trunk deck that we had, so.
Yep.
It still looks a little.
And considering you butchered it, I mean not butchered, you had to.
Yeah, I had to cut all that off. Plus, like you said, you found this.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that
That's
until
all beat in.
today.
It looks like somebody cut that to get the mechanism out of
The
there.
bolt was probably
Oh, it's
spinning on the
stuck.
back side, so they cut
Yeah, yeah,
into
yeah.
it to get it off.
Okay.
Instead of just cutting the bolt.
Yeah.
Ready to take it out?
Yep.
That's what I do. I cut body panels open to get.
Go right ahead.
You got to
Yeah.
help him with it.
Oh yeah. I got to help him with it.
You got to help him with it.
You got her?
I got it. Well, we got to take those clips off now.
Oh, why?
We gotta, unless we can plasma cut them right there.
We're not cutting those at all.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we are cutting those. I was thinking we were moving that thing back.
Can't we just
a smidge.
plasma cut it right here? I mean, we don't
I
have
would
to.
drill or grind.
Oh, you drill and I had to have it in the vise.
Drill
and,
press.
and use oil and. Oh, that's because that is thick.
Yeah, I overbuilt them.
Oh, I know, and I was fine with that. But we can just, this one doesn't need as much as that one. Oh, I got the plasma cutter right there.
All right, plasma it up.
Let me get the air going.
All right, for mock-up purposes, before you did the final cutting on everything, you just kind of had it screwed in.
Yeah, this wasn't,
leaving some extra.
that wasn't right. I had to come back, and what we're going to do is this has to come down and marry to that. So this was a rough cut. As you can see, I thought I could whittle this out. There's really no instructions on how to do this, but there's where it should be. This should lay down all the way to this metal and butt up
top
against
of the trunk deck. Yep.
to the top. So we're going to fine cut. What we can do is this will lift up. We can stick something under there so you don't go through to the finished edge on the other side. And then we'll clean all this up, and that should butt up against it for our length. And we've fit it. We've got this welded. We've messed with the trunk. You can show them what we did on that too.
I already filmed all that.
Okay, so all we got to do is, I kept trimming back on how to do this, but I never did get to see anybody how they did it. Plus, inside here, there was a lot of places that didn't want to pop up, but you can see there's glue.
I see the glue there.
And boom, and it would pop.
Yep.
So that's the factory glue.
Well, we may need to, before we fiberglass in this piece to the metal and make that as seamless as possible, we may need to throw some little like rubber glue in there, just so that the trunk deck isn't, if you put some base in the trunk, it's gonna...
If you put this on with panel bond or whatever,
That's what I'm gonna do.
put
panel
some
bond in there too, yeah.
Put some underneath of these.
Yeah, because you can't weld this, so
Yeah.
it has to be panel bonded.
Yep, yep, yep.
Put a dab of panel bond on each of these flat spots here,
Yep.
and it'll keep it married to the top.
Base is still gonna vibrate that trunk.
But we'll still be able to pry this up and do our cutting. It'll have to be some tedious cutting. So,
All right,
okay.
next steps.
We wanted to take this off and pound this down a little bit.
I think try to get it dollied a little more flat, so when this welds, it looks like it's all
This side.
flat. Maybe
Is
both.
the side we needed.
don't-
That side
Yeah.
seemed flat.
That was the
Okay.
side.
If that's flat enough,
I wondered, can we just pound on this?
it just opens up a little. We might do that too, is just smack
Yeah.
it one time, it goes flat, and then weld.
Okay.
Done for today.
A little more solid.